This one is back to form. You know what I actually really like about Better Call Saul? Better Call Saul feels like a spiritual successor to Fargo. Better Call Saul feels like I'm watching a Fargo season, and a good one in some respects when I'm watching it. Like, it's so great. It's so phenomenal. By the way, speaking of Better Call Saul got robbed at the Emmys, of course, and has now made its Better Call Saul has now officially made it to the halls. Okay, the halls of the greatest pieces of television ever created, and never got the actual recognition that it deserved. Alongside the, I guess, Sopranos and The Wire, or did the Sopranos get anything? Better Call Saul not robbed. There's just better shows. Yeah, I don't care. You're crazy. Better Call Saul has incredible cinematography. It's mind-boggling that it is like even for it's mind-boggling that it is TV, okay? It has incredible cinematography. It has phenomenal acting. Bob Odenkirk is so good. Sopranos got Emmys? No, I'm talking about The Wire. Sorry, not Sopranos. The Wire never got the Wire got snubbed by the Emmys as well. The fact that a spin-off is so good as standalone work is so awesome too. As far as the Emmys content goes, I also was shocked that like I guess The Bear was featured as a comedy, which is weird. There's nothing funny about The Bear. What the hell is funny about Bear? Is like literally the least funny show of all time. I loved it. I love Bear. It's great. Succession is a drama and Bear is a comedy. I mean, I think Succession can work as a drama or as a comedy if you want, but overall, Bear cannot be a comedy. You seriously not laugh at The Bear? Not really. Just like, I mean, there's comedic relief moments with like Fack, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's like okay. Well, Matty Madison acts a little goofy from time to time, and that's funny. Thank you, Hassan. I am grateful. Thank you for your South African accent. It's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully YouTube will respond to this. Did you see the Guardian article the other day about Sopranos creator talking about having to dumb down shows now? Era of complexity and ambitious TV is over, says Sopranos creator. David Chase says 25-year golden period was a blip and he's being told to dumb down productions. Yeah, is that why the movie that they made was dog shit? I'm just saying, it was like absolutely awful. Did you see Menu with Anya Taylor-Joy? No, 100% wrong. A salty boomer. I mean, I think that there's a lot of slop out there. Sorry for the wait. We're still checking to see, and we'll update you once we know more. Appreciate your patience in the meantime, said YouTube, and that was on January 13th, and they did update it, and they said that like the decision was good. Anyway, Raised by Wolves needs to be brought back. I agree. It's great. Genuine question: how to deal with news fatigue? I genuinely don't know how you can cover this stuff every day. I get so exhausted, especially since a lot of Trump stuff is so slow because the legal system being slow. I mean, I don't just do news. I do a lot of stuff. Did you see the I Am Triangular guy got kidnapped in South Africa for 4 hours?
This is going to be a little uncharacteristic, but there are bad days, and then there are make international news bad days.
What? Are you serious? I Am Rectangular got kidnapped by what? By like a person who was like, we need to make sure that you never make music ever again. Is that what happened?
Like this or this.
Canadian tourist 4-hour nightmare, abducted, assaulted, and robbed by Nelsprout gangsters. Traumatized. Newmarket Tree Frog CEO and children kidnapped. Threatened with blank and blank is South Africa.
So I'm going to tell you a story what happened to us over the last little bit.
Why do they call themselves the Blue Light Bandits? Do they actually... Yeah, he got kidnapped by the circular guys, dude. He was like, you're not. Oi, you think you're fucking rectangular? I'll show you what fucking was what?
This is a traumatic story. If you don't want to hear it, keep scrolling. So I decided, as you may have seen, to climb Kilimanjaro with my kids to, for the fun of it, and also to promote my latest song, which we did. After that, we went to go visit my mother who runs
He got kidnapped, and the news stories still won't call him a musician. Yeah, they call him the Tree Frog CEO still.
call it an orphan project. It's really a vulnerable children project in South Africa. When we got there, we enjoyed her company for about a week. And the very last day, we decided to go to the Kingdom of Eswatini, where there was a children's home there who needed medicine. So we went out there to provide them with some medicine, have a nice drive. And on the way back, it turned dark. On the way back to her place, we were stopped by police officers. Turns out that those were not police officers. They pulled us out of the car, pointed at us, hijacked the car with us in it, sent us drove us out in the middle of nowhere near a cliff, threatened to kill us and throw us over the cliff. They then took us out of the car, forced us into the back of a pickup truck, where they held my children and I and my mother, and then drove us around for about 4 hours, trying, we presume, to go to ATM after ATM, stealing as much money as they could for my mother from us, threatening to my daughter.
It's so wild to be a TikToker and just like describe the conditions of your kidnapping and then be forced to say threaten to unalive us while you are a 40-year-old man talking about your kidnapping. That's crazy. What is dude. I know that's not the major point here, okay? I know that is not something to pay attention to here, but my brain is broken, I guess, and it is personally impossible for me to hear anything but that and just laser in on anything but that. When I hear a 40-year-old man talk about like being potentially unalived, I hate the TikTok lingo so much. Yeah, he's got frosted tips on.
Threatening all sorts of other cruel things. And then at the end of that, they fortunately let us out, put us back in our car, and said, leave the country, which we did. I'd say one of the biggest negative things that came out of this was my mother's orphan project lost all of her money. They took all of the money that she had. So if you'd like to share some love with us, she's been running the project for 20 years. That would be very, very helpful. Anywho, I'm back in Canada. I'm safe. Even more importantly, my children are safe. And I'm back to business. I just want to give you this one last story. And I'm going to get back to making music now. I love you all.
Oh, thank God. It's not that like I was worried that he was going to stop doing music after this. And I'm so stoked that I was actually worried he was going to stop frosting his tips and doing music. So much respect to him. Okay. The fact that, I mean, look, the blue light gang, as they called them, reportedly they call themselves the blue light bandits because one of their members liked to flash blue light to distract the victims from late ad breaks as his favorite strategy. Are you fucking for real right now? That's insane. That makes me mad. Okay. I am rectangular and I feel it in my bones. And if you don't want to feel this top of the hour ad break in your bones, all you need to do is subscribe. God damn it. Hassan, did you see the Houthi attacks on a U.S. Navy ship? Yes. Or maybe not. You got clapped. Hang up the mic. You need to go home. Yeah, I'm done. End the stream. End the broadcast. I'm done. I felt that one in my fucking bones, dude. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. All right. Did the Macy's ever send a playlist or no? Because I wasn't even paying attention. I had a lot of stuff to cover here, but oh, we did. But libs have gone full circle and hog conspiracy theorizing again. Democrats are so in denial about the fact that their guys supporting a genocide that they're now doing QAnon-style conspiracy theories. That's a good place to start with. Before we get to the Iowa caucuses, okay? But we'll get to the Iowa caucus. It's not good that he got kidnapped, but taking your kids up to Kilimanjaro to promote your song is very wacky behavior. No, he's a very wacky guy. I'm glad that he's safe though, and I'm glad that his kids are safe. Did you see Noah Schnapp apologizing? He didn't even apologize. He literally just started gaslighting people and saying his words were misconstrued. I don't know how you can misconstrue the Zionist pin. No, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about what that spells. Okay. I think it's actually there's always a little bit of a silver lining from situations like that. The fact that someone like Noah Schnapp is like being forced to capitulate is unironically not a bad thing. Like Netflix is literally, that means Netflix is seeing how mad people get at someone who just openly is openly just salivating at the thought of Palestinian genocide, which of course is, when you think about it from like a pure morality framework, you're like, that's nothing. Like, what are you talking about? He should be like, he should lose his job in a normal situation. And that's probably correct. Except this has never happened for Israel, okay? There has never been a moment. It's like having to apologize for defending and being really aggro about like the Iraq war in 2004, okay? That would have never happened. That would have never been expected. If anything, people who actually, you know what? Let's do the Noah Schnapp story first. The idea that like someone in 2004 would have to apologize for being incredibly horny about America going to war in Iraq would have been unimaginable. Okay? Because the environment that we have had, the politics that we have had in the United States of America in perpetuity has always been that you can say whatever you want in support of Israel, and you can't really say anything in support of Palestine without having a serious threat to your economic circumstances. Like, you will most likely lose your job. I'm sorry, that is the case. And to this day, it's still kind of the case. Okay? I mean, there are still plenty of people that are losing their jobs, that are getting fired specifically for being pro-Palestine. Not even like being anti-Semitic or anything, which is valid, right? If you're being anti-Semitic, then yeah, it's valid that people are like, well, gross, I don't want to be around an anti-Semite. But straight up, the conflation between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, and the fact that if you are Muslim, Arab, pro-Palestinian of any sort, losing your job becomes a real likelihood. And there are famous examples of this, like Melissa Barrera. Okay? It 100% wasn't because of Netflix. Brett Gelman is also on Stranger Things and 100 times worse than Noah when it comes to this. I think Noah's position in I don't watch Stranger Things, okay? So I don't really know. But I will say this much. I assume that it's because Noah's more prominent than Brett Gelman on Stranger Things, right? Is Brett Gelman that prominent? And also Noah is like, one, way more important of a figurehead. Two, of the entire genre. And two, younger too. So like he probably, or his management probably recognizes how his audience perceives this. It definitely impacts his future prospects. Brett Gelman does not have the same long-standing career prospects that Noah Schnapp is going to have, or is supposed to have after Stranger Things, right? This is the most important IP that Netflix maintains currently. So let's take a look at the this is from Fire Noah Schnapp. Not Noah Schnapp conveniently making an apology video the week Stranger Things returns to filming. You're not slick. We all know they made you say this. Okay? So let's take a look at this YouTube apology for being incredibly horny about doing genocide. Okay? Make no mistake. This person, for those of you who don't know, is one of the main characters of Stranger Things. Stranger Things, for those of you who don't know, is Netflix's most important IP. It's their most successful IP. Okay? We're talking like people are buying or maintaining their Netflix subscriptions specifically to watch this, according to their internal revenue metrics and things of that nature. I don't know. I personally don't know. I never watched it. Anyway, so that's like really, really important for them. Okay. It's really, really important for them. Noah Schnapp has done a shit ton of gross, weird things since October 7, and has gone above and beyond in defending Israel's genocidal actions in a way that, of course, is at odds with the main fan base of Stranger Things. Why is it at odds with the main fan base of Stranger Things? Because once you hit the under 44 demographic, people have a very different perspective on Israel-Palestine. The diametrical opposite of the framework or the perspective that people have on Israel-Palestine as the older generations. Okay? So when you look at millennials and you look at Zoomers and you look at Gen Alpha, they are not pro-Israel. Noah, on the other hand, of course, is. Right? So I think that's something that people have to consider when thinking about like how out of pocket this was. 44-year-olds ain't millennials. No, but I'm not even talking about 44-year-olds. I'm saying like that's the cutoff. Like, obviously, the younger the demographics are, the more they are on the side of Palestine for obvious reasons. We talked about it quite a bit. If your media diet consists of a variety of different social media platforms that you get your information from, sometimes directly from Palestinians themselves, this is a information that is never featured in mainstream media, very rarely featured in mainstream media. So obviously, you're going to have a very different opinion on what's going on because you have a access to the broader truth on the ground, right? So, so yeah, I mean, he was doing this. He was like, he didn't go as hard as Brett Gelman did, but he definitely was going pretty hard on the pro-Israel stuff. I mean, do you guys have any additional stuff that he did? I can't like, before I get into his apology, I want to look at more of the things that he did. But I just remember him just like constantly pumping up like, you know, Israel's under attack, and you know, things of this nature. Like you either stand with Noah Schnapp shares statement on Israel Palestine. You either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism. It shouldn't be a difficult choice. Shame on you. As a Jewish American, I'm afraid of my brothers and sisters in Israel who have been senselessly attacked by Hamas. I'm truly heartbroken to see the brutal murders of innocent children, women, and soldiers fighting to defend themselves. I, like others, want peace for both Palestinians and Israelis. Let's stop the rhetoric and choosing sides. Instead, we must recognize that we're all on the side of fight against terrorism. Choose humanity over violence. He was also liking all of Amy Schumer's like psychotic posts. Like there was a brief moment where there was like some collective brain rot occurring on the Zionist side that you know people really have dialed back now, I guess. But yeah, Noah Schnapp liked this video, if you guys recall, this wonderful video.
Inshallah, Allah will kill you all infidels.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love the headpiece, the all oppression chic. Very drip.
Oh, that's right, Hamas. We love Hamas. We are gay, we are homosexual, and we love Hamas here at Antisemitism University. Antisemity. This, honestly, in my opinion, in my brain, has more space than Saltburn did. And I watched Saltburn last night. I constantly think about the Columbia Antisemity. It's one of the greatest sketches of all time, okay? This is like, you can point to this as a separate war crime to be tried at the ICC and the ICJ. Do you understand? It's so bad. It's so grotesque. It's so abhorrent to like try to make this seem appear as like it's comedy or even remotely comedic. Honestly, it's up there. It's up there with like many of Israel's other actions. Okay. It's really, really bad. 5,000 kids died around the time they released this shit. Oh yeah. Don't worry. I know. And that number is at like in the 12,000s now. And by the way, the genocide is still ongoing. For those of you who are oblivious or unfamiliar, it's still ongoing. It's been 100 days. Recently, one of the things that happened was recently, one of the things that happened was that there was finally some food being given to the Palestinians. There was like food aid, and they shot at the people when chaos understandably ensued. Okay, when chaos understandably ensued at the drop off for humanitarian aid, Israeli snipers opened up fire, sniper fire. Okay, so that's also another thing that occurred recently. So they're this is still going on, very much so. Not that people care, but it's still very much going on. There was a video of a doctor performing a no anesthetic surgery on his own daughter, whose leg was blown off at their fucking kitchen table. That was like last week, or not last week. It was a couple days ago. So the idea that inside of a bucket, like her leg was literally fucking in a bucket. It's just, these are atrocities that occur every single day that the Palestinian people have to withstand without people even giving a shit. Okay. So wait, what is this? What do you think of Dua Lipa's statement? Dua Lipa to the war on Gaza. And I have to say this, I don't condone what Hamas is doing. Every life is precious. I feel so bad for every Israeli life lost and what happened on October 7th. At the moment, what we have to look at is how many lives have been lost in Gaza and the innocent civilians. Bro, she can't say anything else. You guys are crazy if you think that yeah, of course she's going to say that. What are you talking about? And also, it's normal to say this because you shouldn't you shouldn't condone October 7th. It's an understandable and an inevitable reaction to existing under a fucking apartheid regime for 75 years. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to champion it, especially in the fucking Western world, dog. Come on. There's a difference between condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, 100 days into Israel's genocide versus versus making a statement like this. You have to open it up like that. Otherwise, as a Muslim woman too, which Dua Lipa is, she's already number one anti-Semite on all these fucking lists nonstop. You guys are crazy. Anyway, at the moment, what we have to do is look at how many lives have been lost in Gaza, the innocent civilians, and the lives that are just being lost. There are just not enough world leaders that are taking a stand and speaking up about the humanitarian crisis that's happening, the humanitarian ceasefire that has to happen. Yeah. She's the most anti-Semitic woman alive, guys, alongside with Gigi and Bella Hadid, obviously. They all went to anti-Semitic university, right? Nah, if she's going to be anti-Semitic, then say what you mean with your full chest of other cowardly PR bullshit. Wait, what? You don't think she's actually anti-Semitic, right? I'm saying that people claim she's anti-Semitic because she's already an Albanian Muslim woman who has defended Palestinians time and time again. It was a joke when I said she's anti-Semitic. I don't actually think she's anti-Semitic. I hope that people understand. Dua Lipa is not anti-Semitic, and neither is Gigi or Bella Hadid. No, I'm saying folk are going to claim she is, so why sidestep from what she actually means? What are you talking about? This is a normal thing to say. Guys, make no mistake. This is a normal thing to say. Okay? So, yeah, look, this is 2021 Anti-Semite of the Year finalist, Dua Lipa, okay? Who referred to Israelis as fake Jews and said Hamas is an Israeli invention. First of all, she did not say any of those things, but that's pretty funny. But regardless, okay? She's calling for a ceasefire. She's talking about the humanity of Palestinians. And she's also saying, I don't condone what Hamas is doing. Every life is precious. And, I feel bad for the Israelis that were lost on October 7th, which is normal. It's a normal thing to say. I saw her tweet about Nimrata Randhawa. She didn't change her name. Nikki is just her nickname in Punjabi, which means little in Punjabi. Still point about white supremacy stands. Come on, brother. You know why people do that. come on. And everybody does that. Like, people change their names. I will talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, there is no issue with her statement. Okay? Genocide Joe disowned by Ireland. He literally said point still stands, so then you understand there's no other context law. Exactly. So yeah, Dua Lipa's statement is not bad. I don't know why people are yelling at her over this. I think, like, if you want more smoke when you have statements like that you don't want to be misconstrued, obviously one of the things you have to mention is like the double standard and the way that like the media consistently recycles atrocities that occurred on October 7th, and like never for even a brief moment do they care about the plight of Palestinians that is like incredibly simple to end. Okay? The violence did not start on October 7th. The violence was permanent. The violence is embedded into the maintenance of Israel's apartheid. Okay? That's it. It's tempting to be belligerent and say what Hamas did was justified considering how relentingly belligerent the opposition is. Guys, I said this on October 8th. Okay? And my point still stands. A lot of people think they can be. He didn't go as hard as Brett Gelman did, but he definitely was going pretty hard on the pro-Israel stuff. I mean, do you have any additional stuff that he did? I can't like, before I get into his apology, I want to look at more of the things that he did. But I just remember him just like constantly pumping up like, you know, Israel's under attack, and you know, things of this nature. Like, you either stand with Noah Schnapp shares statement on Israel Palestine. You either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism. It shouldn't be a difficult choice. Shame on you. As a Jewish American, I'm afraid of my brothers and sisters in Israel who have been senselessly attacked by Hamas. I'm truly heartbroken to see the brutal murders of innocent children, women, and soldiers fighting to defend themselves. I, like others, want peace for both Palestinians and Israelis. Let's stop the rhetoric and choosing sides. Instead, we must recognize that we're all on the side of fight against terrorism. Choose humanity over violence. He was also liking all of Amy Schumer's like psychotic posts. Like, there was a brief moment where there was like some collective brain rot occurring on the Zionist side that you know, people really have dialed back now, I guess. But yeah, Noah Schnapp liked this video, if you guys recall, this wonderful video.
Inshallah, Allah will kill you all infidels.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love the headpiece, the all oppression chic. Very drip.
Oh, that's right. Hamas. We love Hamas. We are gay. We are homosexual. And we love Hamas here at Antisemitism University. Antisemity. This, honestly, in my opinion, in my brain, has more space than Saltburn did. And I watched Saltburn last night. I constantly think about the Columbia Antisemity. It's one of the greatest sketches of all time. Okay? This is like, you can point to this as a separate war crime to be tried at the ICC and the ICJ. Do you understand? It's so bad. It's so grotesque. It's so abhorrent to like try to make this seem appear as like it's comedy or even remotely comedic. Honestly, it's up there. It's up there with like many of Israel's other actions. Okay. It's really, really bad. 5,000 kids died around the time they released this shit. Oh yeah. Don't worry. I know. And that number is at like in the 12,000s now. And by the way, the genocide is still ongoing. For those of you who are oblivious or unfamiliar, it's still ongoing. It's been 100 days. Recently, one of the things that happened was that there was finally some food being given to the Palestinians. There was like food aid, and they shot at the people when chaos understandably ensued. Okay? When chaos understandably ensued, at the drop off for humanitarian aid, Israeli snipers opened up fire, sniper fire. Okay, so that's also another thing that occurred recently. So they're this is still going on, very much so. Not that people care, but it's still very much going on. There was a video of a doctor performing a no anesthetic surgery on his own daughter whose leg was blown off at their fucking kitchen table. That was like last week. Or not last week, this was a couple days ago. So the idea that inside of a bucket, like her leg was literally fucking in a bucket. It's just, these are atrocities that occur every single day that the Palestinian people have to withstand without people even giving a shit. Okay. So wait, what is this? What do you think of Dua Lipa's statement? Dua Lipa to the war on Gaza. And I have to say this, I don't condone what Hamas is doing. Every life is precious. I feel so bad for every Israeli life lost and what happened on October 7th. At the moment, what we have to look at is how many lives have been lost in Gaza and the innocent civilians. Bro, she can't say anything else. You guys are crazy if you think that yeah, of course she's going to say that. What are you talking about? And also, it's normal to say this because you shouldn't you shouldn't condone October 7th. It's an understandable and an inevitable reaction to existing under a fucking apartheid regime for 75 years. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to champion it, especially in the fucking Western world, dog. Come on. There's a difference between condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, 100 days into Israel's genocide versus versus making a statement like this. You have to open it up like that. Otherwise, as a Muslim woman too, which Dua Lipa is, she's already number one anti-Semite on all these fucking lists nonstop. You guys are crazy. Anyway, at the moment, what we have to do is look at how many lives have been lost in Gaza, the innocent civilians, and the lives that are just being lost. There are just not enough world leaders that are taking a stand and speaking up about the humanitarian crisis that's happening, the humanitarian ceasefire that has to happen. Yeah. She's the most anti-Semitic woman alive, guys, alongside with Gigi and Bella Hadid, obviously. They all went to Antisemite University, right? Nah, if she's going to be anti-Semitic, then say what you mean with your full chest of other cowardly PR bullshit. Wait, what? You don't think she's actually anti-Semitic, right? I'm saying that people claim she's anti-Semitic because she's already an Albanian Muslim woman who has defended Palestinians time and time again. It was a joke when I said she's anti-Semitic. I don't actually think she's anti-Semitic. I hope that people understand. Dua Lipa is not anti-Semitic, and neither is Gigi or Bella Hadid. No, I'm saying folk are going to claim she is, so why sidestep from what she actually means? What are you talking about? This is a normal thing to say. Guys, make no mistake. This is a normal thing to say. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, look, this is 2021 Anti-Semite of the Year finalist, Dua Lipa, okay? Who referred to Israelis as fake Jews and said Hamas an Israeli invention. First of all, she did not say any of those things, but that's pretty funny. But regardless, okay? She's calling for a ceasefire. She's talking about the humanity of Palestinians. And she's also saying, I don't condone what Hamas is doing. Every life is precious. And, I feel bad for the Israelis that were lost on October 7th, which is normal. It's a normal thing to say. I saw her tweet about Nimrata Randhawa. She didn't change her name. Nikki is just her nickname in Punjabi, which means little in Punjabi. Still point about white supremacy stands. Come on, brother. You know why people do that. Come on. And everybody does that. People change their names. I will talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, there is no issue with her statement. Okay? Genocide Joe disowned by Ireland. He literally said point still stands, so then you understand there's no other context law. Exactly. So yeah, Dua Lipa's statement is not bad. I don't know why people are yelling at her over this. I think like if you want more smoke, when you have statements like that you don't want to be misconstrued, obviously one of the things you have to mention is like the double standard and the way that like the media consistently recycles atrocities that occurred on October 7th, and like never for even a brief moment do they care about the plight of Palestinians that is like incredibly simple to end. Okay, the violence did not start on October 7th. The violence was permanent. The violence is embedded into the maintenance of Israel's apartheid. Okay, that's it. It's tempting to be belligerent and say what Hamas did was justified, considering how relentingly belligerent the opposition is. Guys, I said this on October 8th. Okay, and my point still stands. A lot of people think they can be as callous and as indifferent to the violence as those who defend Israel. You cannot. Okay? You cannot be as callous and as repugnant morally when you defend Palestinians in the Western world. That is just the truth. If you, for any moment, think that you can get away with saying something that's even easily misconstrued, you will be absolutely packed up, okay? You'll be packed up. You will lose career prospects. You will be belittled. You will be humiliated. You will lose your job opportunities. Even if you say things that aren't misconstrued in defense of Palestinians, you can still lose your job, okay? That's it. That's it. And this isn't just about Palestinians. This is in general. I mean, the same goes for defending, like, criticizing America bombing Yemen, right? If you criticize America bombing Yemen, they will yell at you, okay? But it's especially important. It is especially important to recognize that you have to carry yourself as a reasonable interlocutor when defending Palestinians. We owe them that much in the Western world. You are not being productive or good when you get horny and say silly shit that you think is like cool in the moment. Okay? And I'm saying this as someone who understands that, like, I think when passions rise from time to time, people say stuff that they normally, in a less heated moment, would not agree with. Okay? That's it. That is it. Okay? We owe it to the Palestinians to present ourselves as reasonable people, because we are reasonable people. The idea that the genocide must continue, otherwise there could be a second Holocaust, is an unreasonable position. Just keep pointing to that, and that's fine. You don't have to get like overboard and unreasonable and say things that you normally wouldn't even mean. That's it. We also owe it to them to support their resistance. No, I agree, but you have to also understand that that doesn't mean that you are going to, in the Western world, defend killing children and civilians. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you can't do that. Okay? You know who can do that? Those who defend Israel, like Noah Schnapp. But you can't do that. And you shouldn't do that anyway. I'm not even talking about like whether or not you should do this. I'm talking about like, if you want to be a reasonable person, okay, don't be the type of person that is easily used as a cudgel against the broader Palestinian movement, because people are cynically looking for that. That's it. I'm sorry. Anyone who acts like that is not the case is fucking delusional or desperately looking for an out. Okay? Most people are looking for moral permission because they recognize that Israel is not in the right here. So because they're done defending Israel openly and loudly and proudly without being marked as a psychopathic, bloodthirsty monster, they are now going to go on the defensive and go, guess what? Actually, I don't know. I mean, I think the violence should stop. I'm really critical of Benjamin Netanyahu, actually. As a matter of fact, I hate Benjamin Netanyahu. He's gross. He's a genocidal monster. But also, look at how crazy these pro-Palestinian guys are. They're being anti-Semitic. And some are, okay? Some are. That does not extend to saying from the river to the sea, of course. All right? The Holy Mountain Man 9/11. It's a funny name. Obviously, there are moments that, like, there are instances where people go way above and beyond and, like, do optic shit. This is not what I'm talking about at all. It's hard to judge them when your government is saying anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Yeah, I know. But you mustn't falter and you mustn't stop speaking truth to power. That's it. Anyway, he's a Zionist, literally never denied it before. If anything, he confirmed he was literally taking pictures of the Israeli military while he was visiting. Wait, what is this? Also this, he was wearing one of the worst times for Palestine too. What is?
Love Israel. Are you Jewish?
Yes.
Oh, me too.
What? This is like such a weird call out post. What is happening? These are like children that are making these call out posts. Anyway, like, I guess it's like the little kids that love Stranger Things or something, posting stuff like that. Yeah. Him running around and talking about how, like, it's sexy. Zionism is sexy. Being Zionism is cool. Like, that kind of stuff is way worse. I don't know what this, yeah, him saying he's pro-Israel is normal. Of course he's going to say that. It is that. He is a Zionist. Of course he's pro-Israel. Anyway. Yeah. Takes, like, you either stand with Israel or you stand with Zionism. Dude. I couldn't even get myself to say it. You either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism. It shouldn't be a difficult choice. Shame on you. It's like a way worse post than anything else, okay? It's so much worse. Anyway, so people obviously understandably yelled at him for this weird-ass psychotic nonsense that he was doing in defense of Israel. So now, right before Stranger Things Season 5 comes out, here's his apology.
Hey guys, it's Noah. I just wanted to come on here super briefly just to discuss everything that's been going on online. I feel like my thoughts and beliefs have been so far misconstrued from anything even close to what I believe.
What did they misconstrue? You said Zionism is sexy, as like 10,000 children had been mercilessly slaughtered by Israel. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. In a normal world, normal human beings would be, okay? In a normal world, human beings with a heart would be embarrassed. That's it. Would be embarrassed to openly state that they are in support of the genocidal fascist apartheid regime of Israel. Now, the funniest part about this is that this is why there's a concept such as progressive accept Palestine, right? A lot of people can get away with, like, presenting themselves as bastions of morality and arbiters of good and progressive people in general until it comes to Israel. And then they become genocidal, bloodthirsty monsters in their defense of Israel's genocidal apartheid regime and all of the violence it takes to maintain said genocidal apartheid project. Okay? That's the case. That's the case here. That's the case with many defenders of Israel. Okay? Smart Panda says, I was a staunch Zionist at 19. It takes time, a ton of education, emotional intelligence to break through the years and years of propaganda that is being Jewish in America. I understand that. You want to know why I understand that better than anyone else? Because I'm Turkish and I went to Turkish school. And what does that mean? That means I learned that the Armenian genocide was a lie my entire childhood. Now, of course, I never really thought that this was a real thing, okay? Like, I never really thought that education was correct because I was a lot more skeptical of what I was being taught from the jump. I guess I had a bit of a anarchist streak in me early on, but the very same methods applied in that education is the exact same thing that I see in Israel's Hasbara propaganda. The difference, of course, is that the Armenian genocide happened, and it happened years ago, and it's not happening right now. Well, with the help of Israel and Azerbaijan, a newer version of that did happen. But what I mean is, like the OG Armenian genocide, it happened. Okay? The idea that it is being continued in the exact same way on camera in front of everyone to thunderous applause is ridiculous. Okay? But Israel continues to do it. I thought I saw you wince when you played the video of the shower. Yeah. So, Hassan grew up and learned he needed a shower. Yes. There is no moment in time, in my opinion, where it is appropriate to be like, no, actually, Israel's apartheid state is totally morally permissible, totally righteous, and it's awesome. Why do people say that you deny the Armenian genocide? Genuinely don't know. Because they're stupid. Like, what do you mean? They just want to shit stir and smear and lie to their fan base because I'm Turkish. It's not a meme because they're liars. There's no easier way to explain it. I'm Turkish. They're fucking racist. Their audience is most likely racist, or at least completely oblivious to what my position is. So it makes them feel better. It gives them more moral permission to shit on me. They do this now, which is also laughable, with Kurds as well. This is another thing that I've found out. Guys, this is now officially the Hassan denies the Armenian genocide version, but for Kurds. Now they're also saying Hassan does not support Kurdish people, okay? Which is so fucking laughable. The notion that I am anti-Kurdish is fucking hilarious. I criticize the Turkish government routinely, okay? Routinely, which is so funny that people are saying that I'm anti-Kurdish. Kurdish people don't believe that, which is why it's really funny. Okay. And I'm also notoriously good friends with someone who literally went to Rojava and fought, okay, alongside the Kurdish militias there. I had him on the fucking broadcast like 2 weeks ago. So the idea that I am anti-Kurdish or have denied the Armenian genocide is fucking laughable, but it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't fucking matter. It literally doesn't matter to the fan base. They just think that that is a thing that people believe. Okay? Anyway, the lib said you thought the Kurds were hog people. That's so funny. Yeah. Listen, brother. Yeah, if you grew up in fucking Beverly Hills and you don't necessarily know anything about Middle Eastern politics, and you see like a Turkish guy, you go, what do I know about this guy? Well, he must hate Kurds. It's genuinely no different than the psychopathic weird Nazis that consistently, including Andrew Tate, consistently saying that I deny the Armenian genocide when I never have. So, very, very stupid stuff. Very stupid stuff. Is it me or just a lot of the same people who were all for ending the South African apartheid also pro-Israel? How can people so easily recognize the apartheid then but not now? I think that a lot of the people that didn't, well, first of all, Joe Biden is one of the only people that wanted to end the South African apartheid but does not want to end the Israeli one, and that is because of his own personal perspective on Israel's existence. He's been like a rugged, diehard Zionist ideologically from the jump. Americans don't even know who the Kurds are. They just heard the talking points against you. Yeah. It is really cute, though, when people who don't know anything about my position or about the history in the region tried to come at me with like pot shots and unconditionally claim the exact opposite position that I defend. Okay? That's it. There's also some new bullshit rumors saying you are pro Erdogan because you think he was cooed by Fethullah Gulen. Yeah, exactly. Well, why can't I go back to Turkey? Who knows? Don't ask that question. I must be pro Erdogan. I'm sorry. Having this conversation with Amerifats literally feels like I'm talking to a baby. Okay? I sometimes feel like I'm talking to a fucking baby. It is not even bad faith. It's like talking to a child. They do not know anything. They're just simply talking from a position of authority. That's it. Anyway. I can't believe we just like took a major side step. Reminds me of watching TYT back in the day and thinking they were making good points, but then all the comments were like, these guys deny the Armenian genocide, etc. Cenk did, in his youth, deny the Armenian genocide. Ironically, he was a conservative American hog back then, but also simultaneously very Muslim too, which is really interesting. I think he had an identity crisis in his youth. It's true. Yeah, he did. And then he learned that that was wrong. I mean, this is way, way, way back in the 90s. Yes, he has acknowledged, of course. If any chatters want to know why creators are trying to start drama with you, it's most likely this. Video views are down for the last couple of days, so they want to bring up the estimated monthly earnings. Is that what you're saying? True. So let's get back to Noah Schnapp and not my silly little haters who say some of the funniest things. Like there's two different, I guess the last thing I will say is there's two different kinds of hatred that I see. One is like clip chimping to assume the exact opposite position that I have, and that happens pretty commonly. And the other is clip chimping to rob my commentary of its context to claim that I have like an unnuanced position. These are the most common ways in which people try to engage with my commentary. Knowing full well that I will refuse to give clout to those who are desperately seeking it, they take advantage of the fact that I'm not going to go and debate them, so they can just simply lie. That's it. That's it. Yeah, it's just like, it's like the classic take is the baby settlers concept. Okay? The baby settlers concept. Like, I'm literally, my position has been clear from the jump that, like, it is, of course, immoral to kill babies. Okay? Settler or not, you cannot do that. All right? My position has been clear from day one that you can't kill civilians either. Okay? But if you clip it out of context, you can make it seem like I'm pro baby murder. What people don't understand is I am pro baby murder when it comes to abortion. That's right. I love baby murder. Okay? They will be on your dick until they die. They smell the syrup. I don't know what that means. The real baby murder I'm on board with is freaking abortions, baby. That's right. I've literally paid for abortions to happen to the tune of $60,000. Isn't your position that a one state is necessary because otherwise you'd have to expel all the baby settlers? Like, you're more sympathetic to the settlers than the average flag emoji two-staters? Yes. That's it. So let's get back to Stranger Things star Noah Schnapp tells Instagram followers to choose humanity over violence amid Israel-Hamas war, says the Hollywood Reporter. This was on October 11th. And now we are in January 16th, and here's what his response is.
Hey guys, it's Noah. I just wanted to come on here super briefly just to discuss everything that's been going on online. I feel like my thoughts and beliefs have been so far misconstrued from anything even close to what I believe. And I wanted to just state from my heart how I feel. I only want peace and safety and security for all innocent people affected by this conflict. I've had many open discussions with friends from Palestinian background, and I think those are very important conversations to have, and I've learned a lot. And one of the takeaways I've had is that we all hope for the same things. That
Dude, oh my God, this is bad. This is a very bad apology. It's not. He is. How is this guy a good actor? Like, how is he one of the main? He is so bad at acting, bro. First of all, I highly doubt that any fucking Palestinian or someone of a Palestinian background, other than those like weird hyper Zionist Palestinian accounts on Twitter, is talking to this dude. Okay. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, what is it? Like Zia or whatever? Like the guy who's like, I'm a Palestinian poet. And I think it's so sick that Israel killed my entire family. I think they deserve to die. Hamas is way more dangerous for the Palestinians than the genocidal nuclear state that has maintained an apartheid regime and an occupation, a military occupation over myself and my family for 75 years. Okay. Like, yeah, he's like, I talked to a bunch of Palestinians, including the son of Hamas. The guy who's like, I am son of Hamas, and I am here to tell you, Hamas is most dangerous for America. I don't even know what his accent actually is like, the son of Hamas guy, because I've just never listened to him. Anytime someone sends me a video of his to be like, what do you think about this? I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. You can put a gun to my fucking head, and I'm not watching that. Okay?
being those innocent people still being held hostage in Gaza to be returned to their families, and equally hope for an end to the loss of innocent life in Palestine. So many of those people being women and children, and it's horrible to see.
Damn, is it, dude? I thought that was sexy though. What was it? Was it what was it? Was it is there like a turning point for him? Was it like 12,000 children massacred by Israel where he was like, okay, now that we reached 12,001 children being murdered by Israel, now it's time, maybe Zionism, not so sexy. Is that what happened?
And I think anyone with any ounce of humanity would hope for an end to the hostility on both sides.
Yeah, he's having a genocidal post-nut clarity. He's like, dude, I nutted too hard, and I realized maybe it's not appropriate.
I stand against any killing of any innocent people, and I hope you guys all do too. And I just hope to one day see those two groups be able to live harmoniously together in that region, and I hope...
Damn, bro, he said one state now. He said one state solution now. This is really like someone trying to protect themselves. He's way too calm and weird. It's so creepy. What the fuck, man? He's afraid crying. Yeah, dude, no, it's just like, yeah, he's trying to do like a little bit of cleanup PR, okay? Oh, yeah. Listen, bro, and I've been saying this is October 10, pretty much. If you're pro hostages being released back into Israel, then you should be literally yelling at the Israeli government, not Hamas, the Israeli government, okay? Because currently, as it stands, even if Hamas tomorrow was like, we have decided we are not fighting, we are so sorry, bro, and like we're releasing all the hostages, they couldn't do it logistically because the bombing campaign has never stopped. Okay? The people, the group most responsible for the death and destruction that befalls the hostages is the Israeli occupying force. Okay? Your Arab accent sounds hella Iranian. I know. I've been doing too much like Shah writer commentary, making fun of like the Iranian supporters of the Shah, that like I got stuck on that a little bit. Yeah, it did stop though for like 10 whole minutes, and then they released the hostages. Exactly. He actually never apologized. He actually apologized, and he never says innocent people he's talking about. Dude is trying to save the rating for the new season.
For 2024 online, to see people be a little more understanding and compassionate and recognize that we're all human. regardless of our race, of our ethnicity, of our background, of
Shaw supporters are calling you racist. Yeah, dude. I am famously. Yeah.
our country of birth, of our even our sexuality, of anything. We are all human and we're all the same. And we should all love each other for that and support each other and stand together. And stand together for humanity and for peace.
What the fuck? Oh,
And I
no.
hope for 2024 online to see people be a little more understanding and compassionate and recognize that we're all human, regardless of our race, of our ethnicity, of our background, of our country of birth, of our even our sex.
By the way, I noticed that the Shah Iranians are zealot Zionist supporters in the UK in an extreme way. Shocked to find out that the people that were in defense of a propped up Shah by the West are still in defense of awful, violent, pro-Western positions. It's just it's crazy. I mean, that's what it is. It's just a continuation of the same shit. You know, liberals when it comes to Palestinians / Muslims lately.
Can you expect from filthy little
Globe Twitter, I can't believe poor people are so racist. Also, Globe, have you seen the insane story about Israel preparing for pregnancies from Hamas hostage rape circulating online with zero evidence? Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. Insane. The fact that this was an article that was written is so insane. Israel readies for possibility of pregnancies of female hostages raped by Hamas. Literally zero evidence for this. Like, it's just, what is happening? What's going on? Okay, what the hell is going on here? Are y'all all right? Wait, they made the other Stranger Things start? No. Wait, is this for real? Zionism only means that you believe Israel has a right to exist. It does not mean that you are for the death of innocent Palestinians. It actually has nothing to do with the war. Wait. Yo, they did. They packed them, dude. Listen, this is fucking pack watch. I'm not even kidding. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. This is new. Okay? This is new. Is this actually him or is this a fake account? Be honest with me. It seems like this is actually him. Yeah, see? John is the Palestinian I'm talking about. Mr. Palestinian poet, British Palestinian musician, peace activist. Oh, he unfollowed me. I guess I spoke too much. Spoke too much in favor of Palestinian people for his taste. This is Brett Gellman, who's the other. This is the other guy. This is the other fucking Stranger Things guy who's been like losing his mind about Israel. He literally flew to Israel. If we even consider it to be, why would they need to prepare for a handful of pregnancies? First of all, no, we are not even considering that to be true. Okay? That's insane. There's no evidence for this whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the only evidence for this that they have is the exact opposite. That one Israeli lady who was operated on, if you remember, in the early days of Israel's bombing campaign, that went on television and literally said, oh, they didn't rape me, but I'm willing to bet they wanted to. I could see the rape in their eyes. Like, that is not news. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, that's insane. I'm sorry. That is an insane thing to say. Like, listen, I obviously have a lot of empathy for someone who has been kidnapped. Okay? Like, that's, understandable that you are going to be emotional, understandable that you are going to be traumatized. You got kidnapped at gunpoint. Okay? Your family members and relatives were murdered. Right? Like, and then you finally were released in a hostage negotiation, a hostage swap. That is going to be definitely a circumstance that is traumatizing. Okay? But the idea that, like, you're going to go on television and be like, guess what? My captives didn't rape me, and somehow that's like a bad thing. And also they wanted to really bad. is an insane thing to say. It's an insane thing to say. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And that actually hit the news for a while too. That was in the news cycle. I didn't even cover it at the time because I thought it was like so insane. Yeah, there's no proof at all, by the way, for the this is the only thing that came out. Tracy Ann Oberman, who had to unironically pay substantial damages for anti-Semitism claims back in the day, is like a psychotic, ultra-Zionist British actress who literally posted this and said, as a Jewish woman hearing so many Jewish female hostages return home pregnant after multiple Hamas rapes, that many of the female hostages, some so young, are pregnant from Hamas rapes still in captivity is devastating. And the silence from the feminists around the world, no words. And then there's this conversation where it's like, there are no reports of pregnant return hostages. There's a reason to worry that some of the young women who are still hostage in Gaza may be pregnant, but no data. Please don't spread incorrect info and share your source if you do indeed have new info. Heidi, I genuinely wish I was lying, but I'm not. But if it makes you sleep easier at night, my sister, please believe it's lies. I am completely on your side here and not denying any of the atrocities, but these are new claims. So please share sources. In this climate of extreme pro-Palestine lies, we must be very careful. Heidi, I genuinely wish it was a lie, and that's all I'm going to say. Okay, don't spread info if you don't have sources, please. It undermines our credibility. Okay, Heidi. Like, these are two people who are on different spectrums of Zionism having a conversation with one another in broad daylight, and one person is like, there has been mass rapes of all the hostages, and they're pregnant now. All the Jewish women that were taken captive have been raped by Hamas militants, and they're now all pregnant. Okay, and then the other person is like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, some of these people have their family members still in captivity. You know what I mean? They're like, where's what's going on? Like, what's the deal? Like, where are you getting this information from? I would like to know. It's the same principle behind like Israel saying that the UN special investigator that is supposed to investigate medical claims to map out exactly what kind of sexual violence occurred on October 7 is getting pushback from the Israeli government. What the fuck are you doing? Like, are you insane? Of course you're supposed to investigate this. There's no world where you go, like, there's no world where you don't want justice. It blows my mind that you would ever, for any reason, go, I don't want this to be investigated. Like, what do you mean? I'm not saying that I am suspicious of these claims at all, okay? Sexual violence does occur in times of military operations and times of war all the fucking time, okay? It is a very valid thing to investigate. But I do not trust the Israeli government even for a brief moment. I will say that, okay? I will say that. However, having said that, if there's actual evidence to the matter, then it should be fucking investigated. Like, what are we talking about? How can you stand in the way of that? Claiming like, the UN special investigators are actually anti-Semitic. Heidi, I genuinely wish it was a lie. Okay, don't spread info if you have no sources. Okay, Heidi, like I said, I cannot disclose the source, and I wish it was a lie. It will come out. And as a sister, I hope you feel remorse with this conversation. Sleep well. You did not say that you could not disclose the source. That should be upfront then. This is not great communication. Do better, please. Okay, Heidi, blocking you now. You are not a sister or an ally. Like, this is an insane conversation to have. Anyway, the other part of this story was like, where is it? Here, I'll show you the other thing as well. Was it Khan that wrote about this? I think Muhammad posted this as well. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There was let me see if I can find it. There was a post from Khan, which is another Israeli broadcaster, covering the latest on the UN special investigation into the was it this one? Well, this is just from Quds News Network, but I want to know if there's like, because this doesn't have the actual article in it. I want to show the actual article. The actual article is more interesting to me than just like Quds News Network saying that this is what's going on. But yes, Khan, the one of the Israeli publishers, one of the Israeli broadcasters, wrote an article where they said that the Israeli representatives of the Human Rights Council have met with Israeli doctors to obtain information to investigate whether there were any war crimes committed on October 7th. The Israeli Minister of Health refused to cooperate nor share information and referred to the UN councils as anti-Semitic, anti-Israel biased bodies. Here's the article. Thank you for finding it. Here it is. An anti-Israeli committee of the UN will question Israeli doctors on October 7th.
Damn, this guy's good.